and we are basically spreading awareness in our community for reducing smokers. We wanted to hear your perspective on this and just want to ask a few set of questions regarding the health risks associated with smoking. So to start off with, what's your name, where do you live, and where do you work?
Hi, my name is Dr. Umair Sharif. I live in Liverpool, United Kingdom, and I work in Liverpool University Hospital.
Okay, so what is your qualification?
MBBS, FRCP,
Okay.
one of one qualifications.
So, as you know, danger associated with smoking are widely known, but still an increasing amount of people do smoking. Why is that?
Smoking is very addictive. Most of the people start in their teenagers and they are not aware of the risk when they start smoking. And they gradually they become addicted to it, and it becomes harder and harder for them to leave smoking. Also, the risks associated with smoking are not immediate. They are the risks, most of the risks are years down the line. And most of the people, when they start, probably think that they'll stop it in a few years' time, and or they will not get the heart attack, stroke, and cancer that is associated with smoking years down the line.
So you are trying to say that people start smoking from their teens and like they cannot leave it.
People start smoking at the teens, thinking that they can leave it whenever they want, but they become addicted and they are unable to leave it.
Okay. So
So
considering, yes, yes.
when people start, they are all of the opinion that whenever they want, they can stop the smoking. But
Uh,
that's not the reality.
okay. So considering this trend, do you believe that there will be more patients with health related problems in the future?
I think the smoking-related diseases has peaked already because the newer generation of people are less into cigarette smoking and they're more into vaping. And the risks associated with vaping are not clear, but the maximum number of the cigarette smoking has already peaked years ago and it's on its way down. Especially if you go to Western countries, the restrictions are a lot more than as compared to what it is in Pakistan. For example, in UK, anybody who was born beyond 2010 will not be able to buy cigarettes from the stores. There's a new legislation there. There's multiple similar legislations in Australia and in other developed countries as well.
Okay. So,
Okay, so cigarette smoking will become less and less, and
uh,
eventually it will phase out.
so over to you, Shayan.
Sir, in your experience, in your experience, what health problems are caused by smoking?
The most common problem is obviously chest infections, bronchitis, asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. There's also social and psychological factors as well. Smoking is expensive hobby. So people who smokes are from the lower class or lower middle class. So they are taking money out of their leisure money that can better spend in somewhere else. And then obviously the long-term risks are heart attacks, stroke, cancers, especially lung cancers. But there's a lot of other cancers associated with smoking as well, especially mouth and throat cancers.
And sir, do you believe that smoking from a young age may inflict more harm to a growing teenager than an adult?
Uh, yes, I think when people start at a young age, they find it more difficult to stop smoking as compared to when they start at a later date. So most of the people who start at a later date, they smoke socially. So they smoke in an environment where other people smokes, and when the environment is changed and other people are not smoking, they stop smoking. For example, I give you an example in Republic of Ireland. I was there a few years back, and they have introduced a ban where it was illegal to smoke inside the pubs. And before this, most of the people who went to the pub to drink alcohol, etc., were smoking at the same time as well because everybody else is smoking. But suddenly, after the ban, all of these people stopped smoking because they were only smoking socially and they were not addicted to it.
And sir, to what extent is the damage caused by smoking reversible? Sir?
Some of the damage caused by smoking is reversible. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Some of the damage caused by is reversible. For example, the risk of chest infections, asthma, or chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, the risk of these reduced very rapidly once people stop smoking. But some of the other risks, for example, the cancer risk, the risk that's associated with higher risk of stroke or heart attack, etc., they takes years and years to be reversed. And even in an ex-smoker, the risk of these diseases are much more higher as compared to non-smokers.
Okay. Firoz?
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Islam.
So, some educated people justify smoking by claiming that it is not harmful. Would you kindly elaborate on this perspective and explain if it is flawed?
I think this is because of lack of education. As I told you, that most of the people who smokes, probably knows that this is harmful, but they probably don't realize that how harmful it is. And then the most severe harm of the smoking is are years down the line and not immediate. And this is something that people don't have the motivation to change their lifestyle today to get a benefit 10 years down the line. This is a very difficult thing to do as well. People find it easier to take a tablet every day than to change their lifestyle. So people are not aware that what the risks are, and they're not willing to or they're not aware of the extent the risks are.
Yes, very right. So, what can we do to help the people reduce this habit and educate them about its health risks?
I think there's really two approaches if you go to different countries. One approach is from the top down, where the government legislate and stop people from smoking, or making smoking more expensive, or putting dangerous signs and messages on the cigarettes to make people aware. And then there is some other countries who are going bottom up technique, where they are putting their resources in educating people about smoking at a very young age, especially in schools. And I think if people don't, and really the consensus is that if people don't start smoking in their teenagers, then even if they smoke, they find it easier to quit. So, so you can, in most of the countries, there's a combination of both approaches as well. One thing you can see as well, if you go 10, 20 years back, cigarette smoking was a big part of sports culture as well. If you remember, all the World Cups or the cricket tournaments were sported by cigarettes. Formula One cars, they are all sported by cigarettes as well. But usually because of the legislations, now it's not possible to see cigarette advertising. I don't remember in the last 20 years I've seen a single cigarette advertisement.
Okay, thank you. And if a chain smoker quits, how
Mhm.
will they benefit from this?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, basically, if a chain smoker quits smoking, so how can they benefit from this?
The biggest benefit is they'll save money. So they'll have more money in their pocket that they can spend on other healthier habits. Obviously, the benefit is social. Sometimes when people smoke, they smell really bad, and the hygiene is not very good. So people usually avoid seeing these people or meeting these people. Once they smoking, they have become much more socially acceptable. And obviously, the other benefit is the reduced risk of various health conditions that I mentioned earlier as well: cancers and infections and lung diseases and heart diseases and strokes.
Yes, thank you. Over to you, Mohit.
You're welcome.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. So, I
Yes.
wanted to ask you, does this
How
issue
are you?
exist
Yeah.
in your community as well? And how does it compare to the situation in Pakistan?
So say it again. Does this issue exist in?
your community, and how
I
does the
didn't
situation
understand.
compare? So I'm saying, does this issue exist within the
I'm
youth of your
I'm a doctor.
community as well?
Yeah.
And how does
So I think
that
I'm currently
situation compare?
living in United Kingdom. So the community I have is a group of doctors, and none of them smokes. So this issue is not a prevalent issue among educated people who are working as doctors. But as I told you that the poverty plays a big role in smoking. Most of the people who smoke are from lower or middle class, and they are poor and they are less privileged.
Hmm.
I think you are based in Dubai, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So
From US.
what would your message to the
Okay.
youth be?
The message to the youth is that I think the first of all, the government has to take some responsibility. They should ban the sale of cigarettes beyond below a certain age. I will say that 22 should be the minimum age. Okay. So if you are not understand that smoking is dangerous to you by the age of 22, people will never understand. And then obviously the people need to be educated, especially in their teenagers. It should be part of the curriculum about diseases, social social diseases or lifestyle diseases. It should be a part of curriculum, and people should be educated about what kind of diseases they can get from smoking and how to avoid them, what the other benefits of smoking are. I think this should be a part of a curriculum when people are going into high school or career.
Thank you a lot for your precious time, and I hope your perspective contributes to a better future.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Yeah, Allah
Allah
Hafiz. Take
Hafiz.
care. Allah Hafiz. Bye-bye.